But who did get ejected was Draymond Green, because Draymond Green, I don't know what's going on with him. This was his 20th ejection. And it seems like it's just gotten so, I don't know what switch flipped with the whole Jordan Poole thing, but ever since then, and even a little bit before, but ever since then, it's gotten so bad, you guys.
This guy isn't a basketball player anymore. He's a sideshow. He's a guy that, in many ways, is a loose cannon out there. I mean, it always surprised me how unconcerned people were with what he did to Jordan Poole in that practice, when it was, we've seen behavior on the court that was questionable at best from him. Tonight was another example of that. I mean, I don't understand how he was complaining to the refs after that. I mean, he full on swung on Nurk, because he didn't like that Nurk was holding him a little bit. Like, it was not a rational adult approach to that. It's not even a fired up athlete approach to that. It's just dangerous, 100% dangerous and uncalled for. It's not basketball.
Draymond Green is only doing this because he knows that the NBA has a high intolerance for fighting. If this was 20 years ago, Draymond Green would be in about 50 fights during the course of a season. I couldn't even imagine a guy like Draymond Green trying to do this stuff to a Charles Oakley or a Charles Barkley
or a Shaq.
Like they'd have gone after it. But he's a cheap shot artist. That's all Draymond Green is. He's a cheap shot artist. He's a lowlife in basketball circles right now because it's a repetitive issue. And the problem with front runners, and that's what Draymond Green is, he's a flat out front runner, is that when things start to fall apart around you, you start to grasp at straws and you start to panic. And this is the result of that. So when Draymond Green comes on the basketball court, he's lost all credibility in my eyes. I used to sit there and think like he's a super intelligent basketball player, a defensive savvy, awesome, intelligent basketball player. Now he's just another guy that causes a bunch of issues for not only the NBA, but also amongst his teammates. His teammates have got to be tired of this whole shtick that he has. And he's got to screw loose. I don't know why. He just seems to think that he's above the law. And the NBA continuously gives him chance after chance after chance. At some point, NBA, you've got to eliminate this dude for a substantial amount of time that's going to affect him not only in his pockets, but also in his career. Like, it should be 25 games. He should have got 25 games for the whole Rudy Gobert thing. I thought what he got was ridiculously low. Now he does this. He basically tried to throw a punch without throwing a punch is basically what he tried to do. He should get suspended for 25 games.
I think it started. He didn't get suspended for the whole Jordan Poole thing, did he?
No.
It was like a Warriors internal thing. That's where, to me, like, that's where you drop the ball. Well, something there needed to be done with that to set the precedent that it's not okay behind the scenes. It's not okay in front of the cameras. It's not okay, period, in this league.
The Jordan Poole thing to me is a little bit. I'm probably not in agreement with you both on that because yes, he punched the dude in the face. I get it. I get you. I get that point. But again, like there was a lot of other stuff going on in that moment that led up to that. That's what the players have said. Like that's what Steve Kerr has said. Like there was things that have gone into that moment. So like to me, I can at least understand that. Rudy Gobert at half court, 20 feet or 20 yards away from you and not even really being a threat to any one of your teammates and you running across the court to go choke him out, that's uncalled for. A sucker punch to Jusuf Nurkic because he's grabbing you around the waist, that's also uncalled for. And there's 100 other instances besides the Jordan Poole thing that we could point to as to why this guy should be suspended for a long period of time. Now, you could throw in the Jordan Poole thing to just accentuate your point for sure, but I just don't get why the NBA keeps letting him off the hook. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the Jordan Poole thing, when you put it in terms of anything else, is if I say that if I treat somebody like that at a YMCA and he punches me like that, that's assault. You do it in an office space, it's assault. Like that's
I don't care what industry you're in, you don't do that. You don't do that.
And I get it. If they got in their faces, they jawed at each other. He said whatever. That's a fine response. But sucker punching somebody is sucker punching somebody, and I just think it speaks to his character in general. And Draymond, to me, at this point, he gets a pass because people find him entertaining on the mic or in post game stuff, or but that should not play a part in any of that. I don't care if you're jovial, not in those moments. You're still doing this in those moments. The league should punish him and severely at some point, because he's obviously not learning it. And at some point, somebody's going to retaliate on him if the league doesn't do it and teach him the lesson that way. And it's not going to be pretty for the league as a whole.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what's going on, but Nurk actually did talk about it tonight after the game. Here's what he said about the incident.
I don't know, man. I was behind the play. I don't think what's going on with him. I don't know. Personally, I feel like that brother needed help. I'm glad he not try to choke me, but at the same time, it had nothing to do with basketball, man. Like, I'm just out there trying to play basketball, out there swinging. I think we saw that often, but hope he, whatever he got in his life, to get better.
Something's going on there, clearly.
But I love watching Book's face when somebody says something kind of like, ooh, and he's just sitting there trying to be as stoic as possible and not have a reaction. But deep down inside, he's like, damn, he really just said that. Like, the fact that he threw in choking, Nurkic is phenomenal on the mic.
Jusuf, can you meet me over at my 2-shot here? I want to tell you that you are an unbelievable individual with an amazing sense of humor, and we are very lucky to have you in Phoenix, regardless of what happens on the court, and what your stat line is. I got to tell you, you're just amazing off of it.
Yeah, I mean, Nurk probably might be one of my favorite newcomers, just for all of the social media shenanigans and all the things that kind of come along with that.